to bring Italy's divided politicians together. Without an agreement, the country could be facing fresh elections. Instead of heading into retirement, Napolitano is now facing one of the biggest challenges of his career.
The death toll after this weekend's earthquake in China has risen above 200. The quake hit Saturday morning in the southwest of the country in the city of Yaon in Sichuan province. That's close to the site of the devastating earthquake in May 2008, which killed 70,000 people. However, this weekend's quake was much less powerful with a magnitude of 6.6, but was still enough to damage thousands of homes.
As rescuers work to free people trapped beneath the rubble. Crews in Lushan County uncovered another survivor, a young woman. They even managed to save her baby. One day after the quake, many of the injured are being treated in makeshift facilities. In more remote villages, cleanup work has yet to get underway.
We don't have drinking water or power. All we can do is wait for the government to come and help us.
The Chinese government has declared the rescue effort its top priority. The new Premier Li Keqiang travelled to the disaster area and promised to help victims rebuild their homes.
I've met with many people and told them the government would not abandon them. I also encouraged them to be more self-reliant.
These images recall the devastation of a more powerful earthquake in Sichuan 5 years ago. Some 70,000 people were killed. The high death toll fueled claims that corrupt officials had allowed the shoddy construction of school buildings, many of which collapsed.
We'll take another break. We'll be back. The second round of the GFA First Division League started on Saturday with Steve Biko and Royal Banjul sharing the points in a goalless draw in the top of the class. The results left Steve Biko still on top of the 12-team league table, 4 points clear of Royal Banjul in second place. There were also vital wins for Armed Forces and Hawks football clubs. MS Diallo now brings us up to date with events in the Premier Football League in this piece.
When the top 2 teams in the GFA First Division League met on Saturday at the Sarekunais Mini Stadium, many of the fans expected it to be a cracker. And that was exactly what happened when league leader Steve Biko locked horns with second-placed Real de Banjul in the top of the table class. 4 points separated Biko from Real coming into this game. A win for Steve Biko would have seen the Bacau base club open up a massive 7 points gap on top, ahead of the Capital Club. But the two sides could only share the points in a goalless draw. The Giant Killers came into the game with 2 things in mind. First, to ensure that they maintain their 4 points lead by stopping the City Boys from scoring, and then try to score if the chance comes their way. A game plan they stuck with, and which worked well for them.
So tactically, what we did is, we don't have to force the game because, they are in more pressure than us, and they need the game. We all need the game. But we need to have patience, create chances, and take them. What I told my boys is we shouldn't concede a goal. And at the end of the game, if we don't concede a goal, we come up with a point. And any chance that we have, we try to score first.
With both Real and Biko boasting of 2 good tacticians in Coach Alaji Sarr and Abdoulaye Bojan respectively, the game was played at a very high tempo with a strong tactical-minded approach. But despite the fast pace of the game, neither sides were able to create many chances. The best chance of the first half fell to Real's Babukal Traore. A brilliant shot from the edge of the box was met with an equally brilliant acrobatic save by the Steve Biko shotstopper, who tipped the ball over the bar for a corner. Moments later, the Real playmaker, who was pulling the strings in midfield for the champions, had another effort on goal, this time from a free kick, but his shot was straight into the hands of Musa Toure. The two sides went into the break deadlock, leaving both tacticians with work to do during the halftime team talk in the dressing room. The second period was fairly at the same ball game. with much of the play concentrated in the middle of the pitch, and both teams keeping it tight at the back, resulting in few chances being created. The two sides brought on fresh legs, but even that did little to change the outcome of the game. The final score, Steve Biko 0, Real de Banjul 0, a result which has little bearing on the top of the table standings. Steve Biko remains on top with 23 points from 12 games, 4 points ahead of Real in second place with 19 points. This was the reactions of both coaches after the game.
I mean, definitely not very much disappointed because the boys played very well. We have a very young team, you know, the expectations are high though, but I mean, they are not that much mature, but they were able to contain them, and towards the end of the game, we reinforced the team and we are able to have some chances that we could have capitalized. But it's football, we have to take it in good faith and prepare for our next game.
It was a fantastic game. Both teams played very well. Technically, tactically, they are very good, the two teams. And they are leading in the league by 4 points, and our approach today was to win this game so that we can close the gap by 1 point. But unfortunately, the game ended draw. Still, the 4 points is there, and we will just go back and then prepare for our next game.
Elsewhere on Saturday, there were also vital wins for Armed Forces and Hawks football clubs in match day 12 of the GFA First Division League. Armed Forces defeated Gamtel comfortably by 2 goals to 0 at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in Brikama. Sandong's Hawks jumped out of the relegation zone momentarily with a thrilling 3-2 win over Seaview at the KG5 Mini Stadium in Banjul. Mohammed Jallo, GRTS Sports.
The weather report is next. We will apologize for not being bringing you the weather report. Anyway, before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Counting the cost, Action Aid Gambia has launched a report on the implications of the 2011-2012 crop failure on affected communities. The Child Protection Alliance has engaged stakeholders in the tourism sector in an effort to raise awareness on the Gambia's Tourism Offences Act of 2003. Diplomatic efforts are intensifying to ease tensions in the Korean Peninsula as envoys prepare to settle between Beijing and Washington. And worrying political parties in Italy have re-elected 87-year-old Giorgio Napolitano as president after failing to agree on a successor. That's all in this newscast. Thanks for the pleasure of your company, and stay tuned to GRTS and enjoy our programs. From me and the rest of the news team. Have a good night.